Hello and welcome to another episode of Baseball Night, and it is Friday, March 22nd. It's the big preview podcast where Jack and I will make our guesses for MVP, Cy Young. Are we going to do Rookie of the Year, Jack?
Sure.
Yeah, it's kind of a crapshoot, but why not? And then also we're going to pick each division winner and our World Series pick before the season starts because that always works out.
Yep.
I believe last year, did we both say Houston versus the Braves?
Um, I think I might have picked the Dodgers.
Oh, well, regardless, we were wrong.
And by the way, spoiler alert.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. Maybe, maybe not when you have the biggest bust in Major League Baseball history as one of your signings.
Yeah, jumping right into it on that. Yeah.
um, Hold on, let's
325. Yeah, okay, sure.
no, I want to start with the Red Sox because I said to you, I don't think there's much Red Sox news, but there's two things that popped up. One is Curt Schilling denied his invitation to the 2004 Red Sox World Series team celebration, which,
Okay. I
after
wonder
the whole
why.
Tim Wakefield ordeal was a good call. And I'm even surprised that after that they did the invitation.
Yeah. Um, you know, a lot has been said about Curt Schilling, and I don't want to say anymore. I don't
Yeah.
think I'm not going to give
Uh
him the GD time of day.
yeah. And
Thanks for the
I
ankle.
don't yep. I mean, if that's our cross to bear for the 2004 season, I'll just carry that. I'll carry it with me because that was magical. But yeah, he's not the best. Second thing is Brayan Bello was named the starting opening day starting pitcher, which is funny. And they make social media graphics about it. It's like a thing for a couple hours. And we had a big podcast last year you can go back and listen to where we were like, does it really matter? Because like if you have Justin Verlander like the Astros do and he's rehabbing, doesn't matter if he starts opening day as long as he's there in September.
So I think what we're seeing, especially with some of these late signings, like we talked like with Blake Snell going to the Giants. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't seem like a lot of people value the first couple of weeks of the season because it's just like, all right, well, I'd rather be healthy in May than healthy in April. And last year's opening day starter was Corey Kluber because Chris Sale couldn't handle the pressure because he got himself too jazzed up. But
He was going to be too amped up, is what the problem was.
yeah. Um,
That's
But good for Brayan
ridiculous.
Bello because I think it's like for a player, I don't know this, but I would assume that it's a pretty big vote of confidence. Um, but other than that, no, I don't think it matters at all. Other than for social media to try to paint him as a top tier starter like Luis Castillo, and he can say, "Oh, it's Brayan Bello versus Luis Castillo." He's not there yet, but again, as I've said 100 times, man, I hope he takes that step forward because the Red Sox need it.
Yeah, it's great. And here's a fun question for you. So the fun trivia question people like to ask is who's the last Red Sox homegrown starter on opening day? But that's not what I'm going to ask you. Do you know who Brayan Bello is the youngest Red Sox opening day starter since this person? He's the fourth youngest all time.
Wow. Ooh, I'm gonna go Roger Clemens.
Nope. Aaron Seeley, 1995. It's the
Mm.
youngest starter since Aaron Seeley. I saw the full list of guys as young as him, that or the guys that are younger than him. Eck in like 1973 or something. Then now not just homegrown because I think Eck started with Cleveland, but the youngest opening day starter. And then Jim Monbouquet and then Aaron Seeley. Eck.
Aaron
People forget
Seeley,
that he was a starter.
yeah, I mean, I think he won like over 200 games. But Aaron Seeley is a terrific immaculate grid answer. If you can find an
Mm,
Aaron Seeley spot, you're not no chance you're getting more than 1% on that answer.
1978 was when he was 23 years old and started opening day.
Well, like I
Twenty
said,
and
good for
eight for the
Bayo. I hope
78
he
team.
is. I hope he makes 33 starts as
I do too.
their number one starter. That's what I want more than anything. Him to give 33 good, well, not quality starts. That would be crazy, but 33 starts. That's what I want him to make. I'd rather have him
Yeah.
make those that many starts than pitch on opening day, but I get it. It's cool for him.
Yeah, and he
I
got
have
and go ahead.
I have one more Red Sox item that I uh I think we should talk about is there are some serious question marks going into opening day because of some injuries that haven't really healed yet. Um like mainly who is going to play second base
Yeah,
because
the
Vaughn
roster
Grissom is not going to be ready for opening day. Might miss the first couple of weeks, and they just like last week put Rafaela at second base. So I wonder if instead of him playing his Gold Glove center field, which we really wanted, I wonder if injuries are going to force them to try to be flexible again and put Rafaela at second.
Yeah, I think that may be the the plan. So then you have Duran, Abreu, Tyler O'Neill in the outfield
Robbie Ref
until
is out there too. I don't think they'll start Ref
yeah,
Snyder
on
in the
lefties.
minors.
Him no, Ref Schneider and Abreu will platoon, I bet. Righty lefty.
That's not a good outfield.
Not a lot of pop there. Um,
Saying that out loud just is like a huge realization.
yeah, yikes. But Grisham, yeah, he'll will probably start is starting on the DL, but I think he'll get back hopefully, and then they'll kind of settle into their defense. Yoshida will DH. Left to right will probably be O'Neill, Rafaela, Duran. I'd say Abreu is the one that gets optioned.
Hmm.
Would be my guess.
Yeah, I would say that it's probably going to be him too.
Which they're playing Rafaela so much, it just doesn't make sense that they're like, we need him to get at bats. We need to see everything. He's almost
He,
playing every day.
yeah, of course, he needs to be the starting center fielder. They need to catch the
Yeah.
baseball.
Yeah. That's that's the that's the main thing right now. Catching the baseball. That was their biggest problem, I'd say. Pitching. Jordan
Pitching.
I read Jordan Montgomery might not have backed off of wanting a 7-year deal where it's like, dude, we're 6 days away from opening day. You're not going to get it. You're not getting 7 years. Look what Snell did. He took a higher average annual value for 2 years with an opt out after this year. So he can dominate this year and then just become a free agent again.
I don't get it, Tom. I just don't get it.
I I've been reading stuff where it seems like owners and GMs are starting to be like, "Hey, Scott Boras, we're not playing your fucking game anymore. We're not
Mhm.
playing it. This is ridiculous." And it seems like there's just fatigue with Boris and it's hurting his clients.
I mean, at this point, he can't get any work in the spring. He's going
Yeah.
to go to extended spring training and play A ball, and that's going to screw up his season. I just don't get the. Again, I've made this comparison before. This is not football holding out in training camp. You can do football activities and then have a full practice with a team and be somewhat ready to play on a Sunday. You can't really do that in baseball. You need the ramp up periods.
Yeah. Like even well, it's so different for like Kenley Jansen and Chris Martin both pitched last night, and Kenley said, I'm expecting to be ready for opening day. They're going 1 inning. So if they get like 5 innings in spring training, even if you need, they might not even need that. You're good because you're just going to go 1 inning. But
Yeah.
Montgomery pitching in Scott Boris's complex where you're like sitting, you're pitching, then you're sitting for a timed like 10 minutes, then getting back out. It's just not the same. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's not looking good for that. He won't start for a while. But we'll move on because a story came out the other day, 2 days ago now. This is Friday. I think it came out Wednesday during the Soul series, which um had the Dodgers and Padres. The Dodgers fired Shohei Ohtani's interpreter because of illegal gambling. And originally he gave a 90-minute interview saying he has a gambling addiction, and Shohei Ohtani agreed to pay off his debt because there were wire transfers to someone in Ohtani's name. Shortly after that, when ESPN went to confirm the report, he backtracked. And then a spokesman said a comment will come out from Ohtani's lawyers. And Ohtani's lawyer said he's been a victim of a massive theft. It's crazy and a little odd that the interpreter just changed his story so quickly. What do you think? Where's your head at?
Well, I think it's certainly odd that the Dodgers made him available. The Dodgers PR made him available for a 90-minute interview with, what was her name? Tisha Thompson. Is that who reported it?
Yeah.
And in that interview, like you said, he outlined that Shohei knew about this. He did all that. And this was the Dodgers PR offering that. And then, like, not even 12 hours later, it comes out that, oh no, he stole 4.5 million. But what doesn't make any sense is these were 4.5 or $500,000 transactions to a guy who was under federal investigation from Shohei's bank account. So, I mean, the confusion to me is somebody is not telling the truth about it, either Shohei knowing about it or he didn't know about it. And I don't know if that's the Dodgers PR or if it's Shohei Ohtani or if it's Shohei Ohtani's translator. It's the whole thing is weird. And really, I don't know. I just, I feel, I don't want to say I feel bad, but I mean, in so many states, it's legal. And so many news stories that I've read have been our own websites sponsored by FanDuel and DraftKings. And it's like, all right, so there's clearly some miscommunication here as to what is wrong. Like, I
Yes.
just don't
So
know. And I feel bad that this is going to completely, like, I don't feel bad, but it does suck that this is going to completely hang over Ohtani. I mean, as long as it's out there, but hopefully not for the rest of his career.
right. If this is just like, oh, he got money stolen from him, if that story is true, then it'll be like, oh shit, remember when that happened? If there's involvement, well, it's more than hanging over his career. It's a suspension thing. The problem was it was to a bookie in California, and it's sports betting's not legal in California yet, and it wasn't a site like DraftKings. It was to a bookie, which is
Yeah, no, I get that, but I mean, just
very old school.
yeah, but just I don't know. I get that. Out of all the things that people are doing, some guy that he knows gambling on sports is, I don't know. I don't know, man.
No,
I just,
I know what you're saying. It's
but I mean, again,
ridiculous.
are they going to railroad him and say, like, can they prove he was betting on baseball? I'm just sad that
Well,
instead of
the
watching Ohtani
story,
play baseball and admiring his baseball playing skills, there is now this mountain out of a molehill. Well, a $4.5 million molehill, I guess, but um, that's just going to distract away from his brilliance at playing baseball.
yeah. So now here's what I think two things are possible here. One, the the original story is right. He knew about it, but then like Dodgers PR kind of said, we got to backtrack here. Or this interpreter was a part of Shohei's life. He said he's been on record saying like a brother to him. He relies on him for pretty much everything when he got here in the United States. I wonder if the massive theft. Now, this is all me just thinking about it and thinking this could be a possibility. This is in no way the actually what happened. But maybe he, you know, knew the information for Shohei Ohtani's bank account because he's so important to Ohtani. He might have been like, yes, yeah, I trust you with this information. And the guy did go rogue and was like, and then made up the story that Ohtani helped him with it.
Oof. To go on ESPN and say that and admit that, and then what? Go back to the locker room and be like, "Hey, man, so about that 4.5 million."
Yeah, totally. That
I don't know, but either way, it does suck that again, I don't. I just want to watch the dude play baseball. I mean, he didn't hurt anybody. I just like out of all the things in the world, even the translator. I mean, I get it's illegal and you shouldn't be doing that. And he admitted he has a problem, so I hope he gets help for that problem. I mean, he already lost his job, which sucks. And Shohei has it in his contract that
this is a
he
wrinkle.
if he if his translator gets fired for any reason, Shohei can void his contract with the LA Dodgers.
Yep.
So I'm sure there are protections in place for both the Dodgers and Ohtani if it's something like theft or something like that. And maybe that's playing a part in it as well, too, in the change in story and stance. Um, but man, it just sucks we can't watch him play baseball and talk about baseball anymore.
Well, yeah, this could die down, but if ESPN finds a report or gets, you know how they are, if they get one source that said, "Oh no, I know Ohtani was making those bets," all bets are off, and it's gonna explode.
Nice
This would
wordplay
be,
there.
thank you. This would be such a giant story that the biggest international baseball star probably ever
I mean, if you
was
boil it down, he's probably one of the most famous athletes in the entire world.
right. It is, oh, talk about a distraction. And never mind if it ends up with suspensions and all that
Yeah.
nonsense. I honestly, as crazy as it all sounds, I hope the guy took $4.5 million from Ohtani without Ohtani knowing. That's the best case scenario for like Ohtani. Any
Yeah.
involvement is bad. Although, again, the report said it was college football, the NFL, and the NBA. That is what, and there are receipts to that's what was bet on. There was no baseball.
Well, that's good. But again, like you said, I watched ESPN try to derail an entire franchise over 2.5 pounds per square inch. So look out.
I, I saw a clip from Julian Edelman's podcast, and they were talking. Him and Gronk were talking about that, and they were like, it was so funny. They were like, "Oh,
They broed out there.
the balls are a little flat. The balls are a little flat." And then Julian Edelman goes, "We ran for 350 yards." The thing I'll always remember is a Colt player after the game was asked about it. He said, "Are you kidding me? They could have been playing with soap. They kicked our ass." And I was like, there you go. I don't need to
Yep.
hear anything else. All right, back to baseball. Other news
Well,
is
this
there
hold
was
on one.
oh, oh,
I just want to
oh.
say this story could be a huge distraction. However, the one person who does not seem to be distracted by this is one Marcus Lynn Betts, who in the first two games in Seoul went 6 for 9 with 7 RBIs.
Oh my God. I I
I
just can't.
watched both games. I didn't watch them as they were
Yeah.
happening because you got breakfast, you got school, you got to get the kids going. But I watched
The,
them later in the day, and watching him take at bats, I thought to myself, "Oh, this looks like 2018. He looks locked in already." And it could be that kind of Mookie just assaults the baseball type of year.
yeah. I I love watching him play baseball so much. And now they're just also like, by the way, we're going to throw a new position at you
Yeah.
that you haven't played since the minors and continue to lead off. Also, God, I'm annoyed with the Dodgers and their signings and getting these good players and all that. But holy shit. At one point, the Padres brought in a reliever, and I was watching on MLB TV because you get Don Orsillo, and him and Mudcat, is that that's what his nickname is?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so they're talking and they're like, "This is a real tough job for such and such reliever because you got Betts, then Freeman, then Ohtani." And I was like, that seeing it in here, it's wild. It was
Yeah.
projected all offseason, but it's insane to see.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest benefactor of all of this is probably going to be Will Smith, who's just going to see fastballs. He
Yeah.
had a great opening
Or just
series
have a
too.
ton of guys on base because they're afraid to pitch to those three.
Or you can pitch to Mookie Betts and he's just going to get a hit. He also had 2 walks over the 2 games. So he's seeing it really like a beach ball.
Yeah. It's so fun to have baseball back. My one gripe all the time with these international series that they do to start the season is now we have to wait.
Yeah.
We have to wait another 6 more days for actual. Like I was watching the Red Sox spring training last night, and I was just like, but it's just spring training still. It's not the actual game. So I just watched games that mattered. So like, you start taking out 2 or 3 guys, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm done. But
Yeah.
it was great. It was cool. Weird stadium.
I think it looked like I felt like it looked like if you were in a video game and you could create a team to add to the major leagues, that would be the template stadium that they give you to build on.
Yeah, for a dome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfectly what's the word? Uh just perfect alignment in outfield from right to left. Just a nice big outfield.
Yeah. It was
Perfect
but the big
dimensions.
story
Dimensions is the word I was looking for. Just classic
other
all the
than
way around.
Betts and Ohtani, which are probably going to be the headlines, throughout the season for the Dodgers. Uh Yamamoto got rocked for 5 runs in the first inning. And like, no cheapies.
No.
Everyone was squaring stuff up.
So I don't know what that was, but it looked like um I remember, and again, this is still he's pitched 1 inning of Major League
Yeah,
Baseball. So,
sure.
but I'm guaranteeing that when he signed that $325 million deal, nobody thought his ERA would be 45 coming out of game one. But so like I remember when John Lester was first like really starting to figure it out. He went into Yankee Stadium and dominated, and then like the next week he pitched against the Yankees again, and they were all over him. And they talked to Derek Jeter after, and he said John Lester is a pitcher who throws strikes. He's in the strike zone all the time. So we swung. Like we knew he's going to throw strikes. And Yamamoto was heavy in the strike zone. Like he didn't throw a lot of close pitches and he didn't throw a lot of balls. He was just in the zone, and the Pirates had the green light, or Padres, excuse me. And they were all over him. His sinker was not sinking enough, and it was like topping out at 92. It just didn't look like the same guy that was in Japan last year. But again, he's pitched 1 inning.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just kind of didn't expect it at all.
I didn't expect it either, but like I said, he was just laying him in there. It looked like batting practice.
Yep. Yeah, there wasn't his splitter wasn't great. Yeah, it was kind of ugly, but as you mentioned, not a big deal. 1 inning, 1 game. Also just odd, you're flying over there, you're in Korea. It's a bigger deal than just if he pitched in San Diego game 2.
100%.
So, I'm not worried about him. It was just like, oh, this is happening. And then for him not to come out in the second inning, I was like, okay, taking it easy. Don't want that confidence rocked.
That is the Dave Roberts special. Just
Oh,
yank
for
him.
sure. Well,
just get him out of there.
Yeah.
Bad performance, perfect game. Get him out of there.
Yeah. What is what's the analytics say? Get him out of there. The second inning, he has 22 pitches. Get him out of there. It's actually cool. It's quite ridiculous.
I was
Side
surprised.
tangent.
I was really surprised that he did get yanked. Like at some point, you got to let him go figure it out.
Yeah, but first game, if he's messy in his second start, I'd be like, maybe let him go 3 and see what happens.
Okay.
Side tangent. Speaking of Dave Roberts and yanking pitchers, I don't know who it was, but I saw on Twitter someone had laid out this great thing that with Garrett Cole's injury, it threatens Garrett Cole getting 200 career wins. And then said, here are the active pitchers and their win totals. Forget 300. I'm wondering if we'll ever see 200 wins again. It's staggering. Guys you think are awesome have 70 wins that have been around for a while.
Yeah. It's
because
nobody lets him pitch the third time around the lineup again.
Jeez, it was just it was quite staggering to see. Like Aaron Nola had like 60 something wins, I think. And you were like, wow, I feel like he's been good for a while.
Yeah, but nobody wins 20 games anymore. You would need 5 seasons of 20 wins just to get to 100.
Oh, Aaron Nola has 90. It's just crazy.
I mean, even still, but nobody pitches enough. Nobody pitches enough anymore.
No, I know. I also think like just overall, very low on the what sucked about 2020 totem pole is what it did to players' numbers. I think I've said this before. Trout would have 400 homers. We wouldn't have had to. Miggy wouldn't have had to stick around for one extra year.
He got it though.
He got everything he wanted. Pujols probably would have hit 700 still. It's just crazy. It's a bummer what that did, and then not to mention pitchers that got 12 starts instead of 33.
Well, exactly. It's stuff like that, and like a guy like Juan Soto, who you would imagine has a pretty good chance at, or would have had a pretty good chance at either 3,000 or 500, is probably not going to make it because that half that year is wiped out. More than half that year, 2/3 of that year.
Yeah. Okay, Jack. I think it's time. People have waited to listen to us ramble enough. Let's give our predictions. Oh, hold on. I have a note. All right. I just want to write them down so I can make a cool graphic on the Neverwhere's Instagram, which,
So
if
with
you were
that, I
wondering,
just want to. Oh yeah,
is
go ahead.
all lowercase one word, the Neverwheres, at the Neverwheres.
Follow.
Go ahead, Jack.
Subscribe, like.
I was gonna say you follow on Instagram.
We're doing division winners, MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, and a World Series champion, correct?
The World Series matchup plus champion.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So let's start right here at home. The American League East.
Am I
You
going
lead
first?
us off. Yeah,
Oh,
you lead us
God.
off in baseball terms.
Well, up until Garrett Cole got hurt, it was the New York Yankees. But because Garrett Cole's hurt, I don't think their pitching is just enough to win the division without him. And I know he's coming back, but Tom, I'm going to go with the Toronto Blue Jays to win the AL East this year.
Out of the gate, there are flames coming off them.
I think they're better. We talked about this on the AL East show when we reviewed the AL East. I think they're way better than people give them credit for. The Orioles are also very good, but I just don't see them winning 100 games again. I don't think that they're going to be by their FanDuel total, which is like 84 if I round up. I think they'll be higher than that, but I don't think they'll win 100 games. And I think the Blue Jays are just going to compete a little bit more. More on that later.
Wow, Jack, you're sizzling. Okay. I agree with you.
It's gonna go, to steal a line from the March Madness. It's gonna be pretty chalky from here on out.
I agree with you that the Cole injury is going to be a problem. And I think I spent most of the American League East preview saying I don't understand the Rays. With that said, I'll just take the Rays. Their difference in projection is 2 games. And
you're talking about me being sizzling?
Hey, they're projected to win 2 less games than the Yankees.
This is the AL Beast. We don't know what's going to happen here.
That said, and then, I mean, the Blue Jays are predicted to win 2 less games than the Rays. So it's
a hodgepodge.
Yeah. I just don't like any part of the Yankees pitching right now. And they didn't get Snell. We glossed over it shortly, but he did sign with the Giants, which head scratcher, but I think he just likes California. So,
yeah.
All right. Your central pick.
My central pick. Oh, God. All right. I'm gonna go with the Twins. I'm gonna go with the Twins because I think the Twins are the best team in the division, and I think they're going to win the division. But boy, Tommy, do I like them Kansas City Royals.
I'm gonna take the Twins because I just think it's actually not even that close between them and the rest of the teams in the division.
I didn't pick him, and we're going to get into it soon. I think Royce Lewis is going to have a gigantic year this year. I think he's just going to blow up.
Yeah, I hope he's. I mean, Royce Lewis subscribes to the Byron Buxton "I'm an amazing player if I'm healthy" strategy, but I'm not always healthy. So Okay, I think we're gonna split on this one. Who do you have for the American League West?
I have the defending World Series champions, Texas Rangers.
Yeah. And I have the defending American League West champion Astros.
There you go.
I
The Battle of
they're just
Texas is still on.
yeah. They're just one of those teams where it's like, oh, the Astros have just won 12 out of their last 15. That's boring, but they're people hate
Yeah,
greatness
every
and
time we
cheating.
talk,
But
every time we talk about the Astros, I say they are built to win, and they are. They're built to win playoff series, especially. But they're very good. I just can't. I'm just not gonna have a team win the World Series and project him to make the playoffs at 40%. I mean, that's because they lost Jordan Montgomery. Ridiculous.
all right. Okay. We're gonna move to do we even have to pick the NL East? Do we even have to say it?
The Atlanta
Unless
Braves
you
are my pick.
yeah, okay. Yeah. Same. We'll continue on. That's not even that's there's some for sure locks in the National League where there aren't, I wouldn't say a lock in the American League. There are two hard locks in the National League.
I'd say the Twins are probably the closest thing to a lock in the American League. But yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, that's true. Just because the division's not good. Okay, what do you got for the NL Central?
The NL Central, again, I think when we did our preview, it wasn't that excited to preview. But then you look at it, it's wide open, baby. And I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Reds.
You love the Reds.
I like Hunter Green. I like Ellie De La Cruz. I like the young talent. I do. I'm a Reds guy.
All right. I am gonna go with the Cubs. They got Bellinger back. And I don't know, Justin Steele's solid. Um, they got him Monaco, right? That's
Yep.
where he went.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think the moves the Cardinals made necessarily make them way all of a sudden the best team when they weren't last year. They
I
were
don't get
pretty
it.
bad
I
last
don't.
year.
Yeah, they were at the bottom of the division last year. I
Sonny
don't get why
Gray,
they're
who's
so high.
injured. Miles Mikolas has not been good for a while. Kyle Gibson had a good year on a really good team. Uh, I mean, yeah, I don't know. He's good, but maybe that ERA will drop in the big stadium. And then Lance Lynn, the home run king. I'm not about it. I like the Cubs. Okay. Again, do we even have to put this on record?
I'm gonna go with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah. That's that's a good pick. Um, I I'm not sure if Matt Chapman and Blake Snell are good enough for the Giants. The Padres, no. Although they put up 15, that was a lot.
I will
Um,
say it is weird that more free agent pitchers don't sign with the Giants because that stadium is gigantic
it's
because
got the
it
marine
houses
layer too.
Giants. Yeah, it houses Giants. And but a huge outfield that really only one person ever made look small. So like good for Blake Snell. I bet I don't know. I think Blake Snell's a great pitcher, and that just putting him in a giant park like that is probably good for him.
Yeah. And you were talking about Edgar Renteria, right?
I was not.
Oh, oh, weird. Uh, okay, Jack. I'm gonna pick Dodgers as well. Your American League MVP pick.
Oh, we're okay. All right.
Oh,
So,
what? Oh, shoot. Oh, no, I forgot the World Series. You're right.
okay.
Who do you have?
I have the Los Angeles Dodgers winning in 6 games over the Texas Rangers.
You, you like a wow, a repeat AL champion. That's interesting.
I think they're hot,
For
man.
me, I feel like the Rangers are in the situation where it's like, wow, 2023 was their year. Like they did it. They made it all the way. They won. And then I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple years we look back and they're like, wasn't it weird that one year the Rangers won?
See, Tom, this is what I'm going in with. And I'm going in with an optimism that you no longer have. I think that in the middle of the season, they get a fully healthy Jacob DeGrom back. And
Oh, okay.
we just see an
For
untapped
what, 6 games?
dude. Yeah, see, I knew you were gonna say that. And I'm just saying, if he comes back and he stays healthy, it's who knows what could happen. It's Jacob DeGrom.
Yeah, I understand he's great when he plays. I am going to take I don't even I don't like any of this. I mean,
I was doing it, but I was flip flopping a lot on what I had to.
is it lame for me to say the exact thing I said last year? Because
No,
I'm
of
going
course
to.
not. Chris Berman.
I'm going to say the Braves over the Astros.
Okay.
You know what? We're sitting here, the end of March. It's like 25 degrees out for some reason still.
Yeah, it's not fun.
We just want the Braves versus the Dodgers in the NLCS, and we're good.
Yeah, I'd take a 7 game series of that.
But you know what's going to happen? The Dodgers aren't going to have
The
any
the
UCLs
Cincinnati
left.
Reds, the Cincinnati Reds are going to beat the Dodgers in the first round.
No, it's not even going to be the Reds. It's going to be the friggin' oh god, I don't even Brewers limping their
Maybe.
way in
Yeah.
with 82 wins because there's no UCLs left in Southern California. Okay, Jack, let's go with the awards here. Who's your AL MVP?
Okay. So my AL MVP has to do with the fact that I think the Toronto Blue Jays are going to win the AL East. And I think a return to form for one Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will make him the most valuable player. I tell you what, Tom, so much of me wanted to do. I had 3 guys that I was there, and I think it's going to be a great year for Corey Seager if he stays healthy the whole year because he was unbelievable when he was on the field last year. And the other person I think is a dude who might be in the top 3 conversation that never gets mentioned in the top 3 conversation because he's so young, but it could be Julio Rodriguez as well. But I'm going
Yeah,
with Vladdy.
yeah. Julio is so. Let's see, just for the sake of people listeners that like to place wagers, Vladimir Guerrero is a +2 or 2,100 on FanDuel. That's just because. Oh, Julio Rodriguez is +1,000. He's third favored.
Yeah.
But you mentioned going chalk earlier. I didn't. It makes sense, but my pick prior to looking at the betting, he's the favorite. I think Juan Soto is going to play himself into like an 11-year, $400 million contract.
Oh.
But the best part, I kept thinking in my head, is the way this works out, that contract is going to be with like the some random ass team. I don't think
Yeah,
he's
I
going to
don't know.
re-sign with the Yankees, but he's
Yeah,
going to
God.
dominate this year.
That's
He's
going to be
gonna.
tough to watch and stomach. That's going to be really tough to stomach.
What's going to be tough to watch is I'm gonna have to change his at bats on MLB TV to the away or home announcer, the not Yankee announcer that's just drives me up a wall when he
Hmm.
thinks he has funny, clever home run calls. John Sterling. Those are the worst.
Yeah. I'm just I just don't
But
like that, Tom.
he's
I don't like anything about what you've just said.
Jack, come on. Let's put our
I
thinking
don't
caps
like
on here. It's a contract year, and
I
he's
don't like
playing
I don't like
right
rehashing the
field is like
fact
Williamsport.
that legitimately what the Yankees gave to the Padres for that could go down as a real heist, especially if he's doing what you're about to say, what you're saying he's about to do. But I, I just didn't want to admit it. That's why I don't even have the Yankees on my division winners. I just don't want to admit how good they're going to be offensively.
Yeah. But they're gonna have to win games like 7-6. Okay, your National League MVP.
Okay. So I mean, this one, I mean, it's going to be Mookie Betts. Tom, I'm going him out of the top three there. Is it exciting for me to say Trey Turner? Yeah, it's not going to be Trey Turner. It's going to be Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, or Freddie Freeman, and I'm going to go with Mookie Betts. To be the first man
You
since
know,
Frank Robinson to win the MVP in 2 leagues.
there's a now dearly departed singer named after a hunk of meat. His name is Meatloaf. One of his hit songs was "You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth." God damn it! He might just be my National League pick in perpetuity, just until he slows down. God, he's gonna, on top of being on base for those two monsters behind him, he's still gonna hit 30 home runs.
Yeah.
And I don't know how often like they're gonna let him run.
Probably slash somewhere close to 3, 4, 5 too.
Yeah, 4-5 for sure. I mean, last year he was 3-4-5, 307, 408, 579. Jesus. I got it. I gotta block his page because
No,
it
you
is
don't.
just
Celebrate it. Celebrate it.
he doesn't steal as much as he used to, which is fine. Don't let him stay healthy, save his legs. But yeah, I mean, it's boring. We both picked him, but I could, for
He
the
also
sake of,
won Gold Gloves. He also won, I don't know how many straight Gold Gloves in right field, but he's switching to the infield this year. And it's not,
Mhm.
I hate to use these guys in the same breath, but it's not going to be the same kind of experimental defense that Kike Hernandez provides. It's going to be elite infield defense for the first time in his career.
He won a Gold Glove in 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 22.
Well,
You know what?
good for you,
Not to
Mookie.
be overlooked. You got Mookie Betts first and Shohei third. Freeman is still unbelievable and is now
Mhm.
sandwiched between them. So he'll drive in Betts and get driven in by Ohtani and get to see pitches that Betts didn't see and Ohtani's not going to see. It's crazy.
Freddie Freeman had almost 60 doubles last year.
I,
I mean, get out of town.
Jesus. All
We
right.
didn't even talk about a dude who created a new club.
I
Like
know.
Ronald Acuna Jr. isn't even on our list this year because of how good the Dodgers are, and that's insane. Ronald Acuna Jr. is an amazing baseball player,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's just,
but to think he'll go back in time and do what he did last year is just detrimental.
mm, but still, he still could. He could go 40-40 again.
That's yeah, he definitely could go 40-40 again. That lineup is so good too. I mean, it's not Betts, Freeman, Ohtani, but I mean Acuna, Albies, Olson, Riley is pretty damn good. Michael Harris in the mix too.
Yeah. And not to mention Acuna's 26. He's younger than those three Dodgers players. He's in his prime.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So absolutely could just show up in the top three again. Who's your AL Cy Young winner? The Cy Young's getting weird.
I don't think it's going to
But
get weird when I tell you my guy because I think my guy is just on the verge of becoming a household name. Cole Reagans of the Kansas City Royals. I think he has the best possibility to win 20 games. I really think that. I think he could win 20 games for the Kansas City Royals. His stuff is so good.
Wow. That I saw his name on the betting leaderboard and I know how you feel about him. So I was like, in my head, I almost said, wait a second. Before he says it, you guess his pick. I just,
You would have got it.
I, if your American League East, pick comes through, I think it's because Kevin Gossman has
It's
had
a
an
good pick.
awesome year and he is awesome. He was awesome last year and I think he'll just continue to be. So that's my pick. All right. Who do you got in the National League?
I have some thoughts. And I tell you what, if Kodai Senga was healthy for the whole season, my pick would be Kodai Senga. I just think this stuff is so good. Um, but I'm gonna go. Last year, I believe my pick was Spencer Strider, who is the betting favorite. I am going to stay in the city of Atlanta, but I'm not going to go with Spencer Strider. I'm going to go with Max Fried as my pick to click as the NL Cy Young.
All right. Wow. Um, that is off the board for sure. I just gave you a thumbs up. I don't know why. Was the way I'm holding the mic? Stop. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, thumbs up to that pick off the board. Not terribly off the board. I guess he's fourth in betting, so not bad. Um, you know, this is such a crapshoot.
I have a
I'm gonna
feeling on who I think
say,
you're going to pick right now.
or you make my pick for me, and I'll tell you if you're right.
I think you're going to go back up your central pick, and I think you're going to pick Justin Steele on the Chicago Cubs.
I'm not.
Okay.
I don't know how his stuff works, but Zach Gallen,
Mm,
it
mm,
doesn't make
mm,
sense.
mm, mm.
He doesn't have like overpowering stuff, but then you watch him and you're like, well, no one hits him. So I'm gonna pick Zach
I think
Gallen.
he's a great pitcher. Yeah.
No, I know, but he doesn't throw. He's not like Spencer Strider or Yamamoto who throws 98 or Cole. So 98 with a wipeout slider, he just gets you out. So I'm gonna go him. He also wears sick snake belt buckles. I don't know if you saw that last year.
I missed
His
that.
pregame fit has, I mean, he's Diamondback and he wears snake belt buckles.
That
You
makes a
gotta
lot of
love it.
sense.
All right, I guess we can do rookies. This is talk about a crapshoot.
This is a crapshoot because I'm going to tell you what, a rookie that is not on this betting list right now could probably come and is most likely to win Rookie of the Year. However, Tom, I'm going to go with my AL pennant winner and go with the man who already has some experience, Evan Carter.
Yeah, I mean, sure,
I
that
mean,
makes sense.
it's fucking impossible that the Baltimore Orioles churn out another Rookie of the Year top prospect. Like Jackson Holiday can't go in there and do what Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson did. It's not the 1980s, Tom. This isn't the Bash
Yeah.
Brothers and Walt Weiss.
Sorry, broke your broken forearm, Walt Weiss.
What Tom just referenced there, and rightly so, is something called the Bash Brothers experience. Go out of your way to find that on Netflix and watch it.
Well, let me tell you what, Jack. There has been an email sent about having Let's Bash be licensed for the theme of this podcast. It was not returned, but I sent an email.
To the Lonely Island?
I think that the produce the label you can do like licensing. But yeah,
I'm gonna have to
Let's
follow up on
Bash.
that.
Yeah. Then there was one for me and for the other podcast we do, and it was for a Jurassic 5 song. Because there's a line talking about verbal acupuncture, and I wanted that to
Mhm.
be the lead in for me and Tim. So the labels of J5 and the Lonely Island, please get back to me.
Yeah, we know you're
We
listening.
will we will pay the licensing fee.
Yep. I'll reach out to my
All right.
man Charlie
My
Tuna.
pick is Wyatt Langford of
There you
your
go.
Texas Rangers.
Evan Carter's teammate in the outfield there.
Hey,
What was
maybe he
he, the
comes up,
number
hits
three
25 home
pick?
runs.
The
He
number three
was
pick in the draft?
round 1, pick 4.
Okay. So he dropped to the Rangers. Talk about the rich getting richer. You win the World Series and get the 4 pick in the draft. That's some real Larry Bird stuff right there.
So those are our, I guess, in the National League. We got to do those.
We got to
All
do
right.
those, Tom. How about some enthusiasm for these young rookies burning up the league?
It's just such, like you would have. How high was Jordan Walker last year? And then he got sent
He was
down.
my pick. He was my pick of the year. Yeah, he was my pick for rookie of the year.
So it's just so hard because there can be a month of having trouble adjusting. Like, look at
We've come
Casas.
close on this show, though. We've come close on this show. Casas was what, third in rookie of the year voting, and Jordan Walker, I think, was third too. Or at least I've come close. And then the
Who
year
was the?
before, I picked Jonathan India to win, and he did.
You did?
Yeah, bro.
Wow. Who was even the winners last year? Well, Gunnar Henderson, and who was it in the National
Gunnar
League?
Henderson and oh man, it goes
I'll just click on the season. Duh. Anyways,
Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll, obviously.
oh yeah, Corb. I call him Corb.
Yeah.
I don't.
Anyways,
I
Tom,
don't.
I'm gonna go with a contract that is obscene. Never has this amount of money been paid to anybody who has never stepped foot on a Major League Baseball diamond, and I think he has a ton of pressure on him. But I think he's gonna be fine. Jackson Churio of the Milwaukee Brewers is going to
Oh
win
yeah,
the NL Rookie of the Year.
he's like 19, right?
I think yeah, maybe 20 or something like that, but
Yeah, he's super young. Sure, because he's gonna start all year, isn't he?
yeah, he
Center
made the
field.
opening day roster. I mean, he signed a 7-year, $83 million contract in the offseason, having never played in the majors. He burned up their minor league system. But yeah, he is 20.
I'll just take
There you
Dylan
go.
Cruz. Um, just another basher. Because I feel like guys get called up, and if you come up and just hit a bunch of homers, you're good. You know,
Yeah, there's Paul
Nationals.
Skeens too. I feel like Paul Skeens is going to be pitching for the Pirates after the All-Star break.
I heard someone say they wouldn't be surprised if Paul Skeens gets like 100 innings this year.
Damn.
Yeah. So,
Um,
all right,
it could
that's the
be, I
big
mean, it could be
preview
one of the
pod.
imports too. Like the imports, Shota Amanaga, Yamamoto obviously got shelled in that first inning. And then the kid from Korea, Jung-Hoo Lee from Giants. There are a lot of pro guys who come over that you think
Yeah.
like they'd have a good opportunity to win that.
Yeah. That happened with that guy from the Mariners that one year.
I believe his name was Ichiro.
Yes. That's it. Um, I got nothing else, Jack. Major League
I'm
Baseball.
ex
Next time we record, we're gonna talk about the Red Sox um finalized roster and opening day.
Yeah, we're in it now, Tom. We're in it, baby.
Buckle your seatbelts and get ready because it's about to start.
Let's bash.
All right, Jack, I'll talk to you later.
Bye, Tom.